Well, Algebra 1B students for Mr. Fry. This is, what's today, the 5th? Okay, Friday the 5th. You guys could have done these in class if you didn't get to them in class. So this was the homework. I'm going to have a few of these for you and try to explain a little bit of them. For number one, list the correlation coefficients in order from least to greatest. So you had this list. So the least to the greatest. So if you're out 43 cents, that's like if I was to think of this as cents, okay? So this would be like 4 if I had a 0 back there. If I've lost 43 cents, I've lost more than I've lost 40 cents, okay? It's 3 cents more, if you want to think of it that way. This is less than the 0.4. And then you move up to 0.8. There's an extra comma there. Sorry about that. I was just jotting this down while I was reading a test to somebody at the same time, so kind of lost track. And then 79 and then 82. If you want to think of it as money, it's a little bit easier. 8 cents and then 79 and then 82. It just gets greater and greater. For number 3, if a correlation coefficient is negative 0.3, remember you want to think of these as between any numbers between 1 and negative 1. That would be negative 1.00. So this, and then you have 0 in between here. So it's just a weak negative. It's not really far into the negative. 0 would be no correlation, but weak negative, it's just a little bit below 0. 3 cents, if you want to think of it that way, in the whole. So it's weak negative. Number 4, I did number 4 too because I wanted to get a couple of these different ones. Describe the correlation between hours worked at a job and the money earned. That's going to be a strong positive. The more you work, the more hours, the more money. It's a pretty strong correlation there. Describe the correlation between the age of the students in the class and their height. Really, there isn't very much of a correlation, I don't think. There may be no correlation at all, but it could be a weak positive. So if somebody, if it's in the same class, so, thinking of that, in the same class, you might have some students that are, a year older, and they might be a little bit taller. So there may be a weak positive there, but that's questionable. Okay, so for number 7, these graphs should match up. This is pretty strong, so that's D. A strong negative, I should say. Strong negative, so D, pretty strong negative. This one is a bit weaker negative. You can barely see it, but no correlation at all over the place. Kind of strong. It's getting, not kind of strong, it's actually kind of weak positive. And then a stronger positive. And then a real strong positive is right here, and that's going to be that last one. Hopefully you're pausing this. Let me try 8 on your own. And I wanted to do a couple of these on the back. What you're going to do is going to be real easy on your calculator, on your graphing calculator. What you're going to do is, all you're going to do is plug these numbers in. Follow the directions on this sheet right here that you had in class and it's online. All you're going to have to do is follow just step by step. Step 1, all of these, do just exactly what it says. Okay, and then skip steps 2. You don't need to view the scatter plot. Okay, just go straight down here, and then if you just do 1, 2, what you'll do is you'll get the equation. Okay, you'll have to come up with it. Let me turn this back on. Okay, so this is actually, let's take a look at number 11 first. After plugging all that information in, you get this information after doing this stuff down here, step 3. And this is where you have y equals mx plus b. Well, for some reason your calculator does ax plus b. So a is this. This is your slope. And I go out to two places. I round it to the 100th. I round it to the 100th. I don't know what Mr. Fry wants you to round it to, but I round to the 100th and it seems to work okay. So seems to be pretty accurate. So you just plug these numbers in. So it's going to be 6.08x plus 63.93. And that's how I got this for number 11 after I plugged these numbers in. The grade expected, then for x, you put in 6 hours. 6 hours in for x. This is supposed to be an xer. And then you just work it out on your calculator. 6.09 times 6 plus 63.93. I got 100%. It actually was over a little bit over 100%, but you know that's going to be the highest grade, so I just left it at 100%. I did the same thing in the calculator, following these steps, skipping the step 2. I didn't need to see the scatter plot. I just needed the information to make the equation, right? So I plugged these numbers in, list 1, list 2, did what it said in the directions, and I came up with these numbers. And then I plugged in 75 inches, put that in for x, so 4.52 times the 75 minus 167.18, and the weight expected would be this, and I just rounded it to the nearest pound, and 172. Okay, hopefully this helps iron out some of this stuff. Sorry it's so late, but I had a lot of tests today. Hopefully this, if you're working on it this weekend, this will help.